Hi, I'm Laura Schwartz, and I wrote the book on networking, Eat, Drink, and Succeed.
And I'm John Bourgeois, the Regional Director for Macy's by Appointment, Macy's free personal shopping service.
And we're here to show you how to combine the power of networking with the power of your appearance, whether going for that first job, the big promotion, or transitioning in your career.
And you only have 7 seconds to make a first impression, so let's make it the right one.
And we'll take the pressure off because we're going to walk you through great settings of which we can all eat, drink, and dress to succeed. So you've set up a coffee with a friend of a friend in an industry that you want to break into. It's informal, yet still professional. And even though it's not an interview, it's a conversation. But one of the first questions you have to ask yourself is, what do you wear?
Exactly. You don't want to look like you're trying too hard, but you want to look great. So let's take a look at our first model and see what she's wearing. This is Angela, and again, she's not wearing a professional, traditional suit, a simple casual dress. You'll notice the sleeves and the chest appropriately covered up, not too exposed. She looks casual, yet appropriate. We're gonna bring in Jeff. Again, you can see Jeff is not wearing a full suit. This is not an actual interview. So he's got a textured plaid shirt on instead of a solid, no tie, and has a great little sweater vest with his dress pants. So I think he looks great for a casual conversation.
And style goes hand in hand with substance. And when it comes to substance and networking, a few things to keep in mind is that whoever said it was fashionable to be late, well, they were just late. You want to not only be on time for a coffee, but get there a little bit early. That way you can scout out a good table in a quieter area. Because when you're having a conversation with someone, you want to be able to hear what they have to say. And as far as that coffee, get it early. Wait in line before your coffee partner gets there, not while they're waiting for you. And speaking about that coffee partner, after your introductions, make sure to use their name. Sprinkle it throughout the conversation. Not only does it, first of all, show you in a positive light and add value to them instantly, but they are liable to pay more attention to you when you use their name. And lastly, it's all about listening. This is a great opportunity to gather information about an industry or a job and just an individual. You want to come with some good in-depth questions so you can find out as much about that person's journey in the industry as the industry itself. Because whether you're looking for that new job, going for a promotion, or maybe meeting a first client, this is your opportunity to get good information. People love to talk about themselves, so let them. It's going to be a great coffee. So you've been invited to a lunch with a potential new boss, going for a promotion, or you're eating out with a client. Just because you're at a table in a restaurant and not in a boardroom doesn't mean you prepare any differently. You may not be accomplishing your goals through a large presentation, you're going to be accomplishing them through conversation. And even before you say that first word, your appearance is going to say a lot for you.
That's so true. You're meeting with that boss or client, so you want to look professional, but yet approachable for lunch. And as you can see, Angela's wearing her professional suit in a great summer color, but instead of her crisp white top that she might wear to the office, she's wearing a printed blouse that makes it a little more casual and appropriate, confident to meet with her boss. And you can see Jeff again has his professional suit and tie on, but instead of a white dress shirt, we did a patterned textured shirt with a sweater vest, but still professional and polished to meet with his new client.
Now that you look the part, you've got to be ready for the conversation. And topics at a lunch will range from not just the job and the industry, but to current events as well. You want to know what I like to call a little about a lot. So that morning when you read the paper, make sure to look at the headlines of the sections you might not ordinarily read, because something that you may not be interested in may still come up at the table. That'll give you just enough to talk about that conversation at hand until it comes back around to something you're more familiar with. And when it comes to starting conversation, try to stay away from the weather. Instead, call ahead to the location. Ask the host if there's anything interesting that you should know, such as artwork that's on the walls in the dining room or the historical preservation of the building itself. This gives you something to talk about that's going to be interesting and perhaps unknown to your other luncheon guests. So use that. It'll make you look credible, and it'll empower them with great information to use at the same time. So you're going to be able to be ready for the style and substance of every lunch. So you've been invited to a fun office happy hour after work. You have to remember a few things. Most importantly, what you do outside of the office will be taken in consideration inside the office the next time your name gets floated for that new promotion, that new job, or new client. But to start it off, John, how can we wear something smart at the office that we can take right into night?
Exactly. You're coming from work, but you want to look fun and relaxed for happy hour. So let's take a look at a great way to do that. Let's look at Angela. And you can see she has a professional dress on, but for the evening, she took off her more conservative jewelry and put on some sparkly jewelry, and she freshened up her makeup a little bit for evening, so she still feels social and evening, but yet appropriate to mingle with coworkers. And now let's take a look at Jeff. So you can see Jeff just came from the office, so he still has his suit on, but he took his tie off to relax a little bit and have fun with the coworkers, but he still looks great and professional.
And when you're out at your fun office happy hour, keep in mind and remember the power of alcohol. You might want to ask yourself throughout the course of the evening, is it cocktail talk or you're cocktail talking? If it makes you feel more comfortable to have 1 or 2 drinks, have them. It's those 3, 4, or more that can get you into trouble. Because office jokes the day after a party aren't funny if you can't remember them. It's a casual, fun atmosphere, but you're still on that virtual clock. So remember to make it count. And whether a potential client or boss, when you're invited into their office for what could be very well the deciding interview, you want to look as right for the part as you feel you are perfect for the job. And that's where Macy's by appointment comes in.
That's right, and this is the most important interview, and first impressions are everything. So you really want to put serious thought into what you're going to wear. You want to make sure the fit is right and nothing's too distracting so that all the focus is on you and what you have to say. Here you can see Angela in a simple tailored suit that fits her great and looks really elegant, a crisp blouse, simple tasteful jewelry, nothing too distracting to take away from what she has to say during that interview. And now let's take a look at Jeff. Again, Jeff has his best suit on that fits him great, a crisp white shirt and a traditional tie. He feels really confident and ready to speak to that client or boss.
And after your Macy's by appointment, but before you walk into the office, take a moment and find out more about that person that's interviewing you than just simply their job title and how long they've been at that company. By looking at sites like LinkedIn, you can find out their professional and academic profile. Check out and see what they're tweeting about on their Twitter feed or posting up at Facebook. By doing that, you can already find a common passion or bond that may exist between the two of you. And a connection equals great conversation. Weave it in organically, but do just that, because there's a fine line between networking and stalking. But really, your extra effort will be worth the extra credit.